If you think your dream life lies on the easy side of anything, you're lying to yourself. I know it's popular to post the idea, everything you want is on the other side of hard. And hey, I agree. What you're after really is beyond something that you've been avoiding. But let's be honest, we don't get tripped up by the big hard things. We know lifting weights is hard. We know starting a business is hard. So what is it that actually derails us? The small discomforts that we label as insignificant. You know, that awkward moment when you should speak up, but you don't. The hesitation before asking your boss, your coach, or a prospect or your teacher just a simple question that might make you look like you don't have it all figured out. It's those micro moments that truly shape our trajectory far more than we give them credit for. And the problem is this, they're too easy to dismiss as insignificant because you honestly tell yourself, it's no big deal, I'll say that later. You really do mean that. But that choice, that tiny little act of deferral, it's doing something deeper than just delaying a short little conversation. It's signaling to the world, and worse, to yourself, that you just want to blend in. You want to be normal. You don't want to stand out. That risk of looking foolish outweighs the opportunity for growth. And over time, that subtle avoidance erodes something inside. It begins to chip away at your self-trust, and it feeds that quiet, creeping voice that says, maybe you're not the kind of person who can actually do this thing. I know this because I've lived this. I lived an entire decade where I let my comfort zone actually call the shots. And it's not because I was being lazy or that I lacked ambition. It was because I just didn't want to feel that discomfort. I actually tricked myself into the appearance of leaning into the hard things. But honestly, in the daily, moment-to-moment decisions, I allowed my character to remain totally unchanged. I was using the big stuff as a cover, an excuse to avoid the smaller but more meaningful work. The kind that changes you from the inside out. Blending in is what our lower self wants. Not only does that signal to the universe that maybe we don't really want that thing to come to fruition, but what's worse is what it does to us on the inside. It begins to tarnish our very soul. And all for what? So we can avoid a minor, seemingly insignificant discomfort in a moment. Your next level isn't hiding behind some huge milestone, some massive task, or some metaphorical Mount Everest. It's on the backside of small, uncomfortable conversations, decisions, and actions. If you've been feeling stuck lately, I challenge you to lean into that very thing that makes you want to retreat. That's where you'll find your edge. That's where you'll see the staircase to the next level. And that's where you will find exactly what you're made of. For 100 days, question your reflex to avoid, to stay comfortable. If something feels awkward or unfamiliar, run toward it. Make this your practice and rewire your system to bring those unconscious habits of playing small up to the surface. What's easier, a few awkward conversations today, or waking up in 30 years, full of regret, questioning if you should have done more?